What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back with another Black History Nugget. Here, Black History Nugget, episode 15. 15. We are halfway, better yet, more than halfway through this month as we have been systematically unpacking the Hebrew presence, Black presence, melanated folk presence in the Bible. And we are continuing today. This is not going to be a long video, but I just want to unpack some things that we have been talking about over the last several, I guess probably the last week. We looked at probably about a week ago. We looked at Negroland, which was in West Africa. And I just want to give you some more information on that place called Negroland. If you remember, we talked about how Negroland is, of course, in West Africa. It was a part of Africa that was called Negroland because the Portuguese called the individuals who lived there, who had inhabited that area, they called them Negroes. They called them Negroes. These were the Hebrews at the time, the quote unquote Jews. They called the Hebrews, and to distinguish between those who were um, uh, the quote unquote Jews, to distinguish between them and the other Africans, they called them Negroes. And so, in this particular area of land in West Africa, you had what was called Negroland. But before we get there, I want to show you this more proof, because we're looking at all this proof that is adding up, showing us that the children of Israel left Israel, the promised land, and they migrated south into West Africa, went to North Africa, then of course into West Africa, and of course they would end up dispersing. And one particular tribe, the tribe of Judah, they settled in what we today call Benin in West Africa. But let's look at, I'm going to show you this. This is on the website. It's called Gallica. It's called Gallica. Now, Gallica is uh, it's a French, this is a French website. This is a French website. As a matter of fact, let's see. It is described by ChatGPT. It is a page from Gallica, the digital library of the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. And Gallica provides online access to a vast collection of digital documents, including books, manuscripts, maps, images, periodicals, and more, covering various historical subjects and time periods. So let's go over here. So we're on gallica.bnr.fr, and I am over here on the left where it says Wida, Fida, and then it's a whole bunch of other French words that I have no idea what they're talking about. And so I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to come over here and we're going to go to Google Translate. We're going to go to Google Translate and we're going to put in what it said on Gallica, and it says Wida, Fida, Wida, Judah, or Judah is a town ancient, frequented since the 16th century by port slave traders, gays, who gave him its name. Its inhabitants were said to be Judoques, and they were Jews. They were indeed considered as a remnant of scattered tribes of Israel. To the north, the Ala River, whose real name is Ephra, had become the Euphrates for scholars. But notice it said that this area was inhabited. Okay, they were indeed considered as a remnant of scattered tribes of Israel. So where's that area called Judah? Where's that area? All right. So we have looked at several maps, but let's look at this one. This is on the Library of Congress, the Library of Congress website. All right. This is a new and accurate map, Library of Congress, right there, a new and accurate map of Negroland and the adjacent countries. Also, Upper Guinea, showing the principal European settlements where the Europeans went, and distinguishing which belong to England, Denmark, Holland, and C, the Sea of the Rivers being drawn from surveys and the best modern maps and charts, etc. So as you can see here, once again, we looked at this type of map previously, but you see here you have the Kingdom of Judah, or Ouida, slave coast. All right, Kingdom of Judah, Ouida, or slave coast. Now let's go back to what we just looked at previously, and this is the exact same thing we just read on the Gallica website, right? Ouida, Judah, or Judah is a town ancient, frequented since the 16th century by port slave traders, gays who gave him his name. Its inhabitants were said to be Judoquez, Jews, from the tribe of Judah, and they were indeed considered as a remnant of scattered tribes of Israel, a remnant of the scattered tribes of Israel. Have mercy. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. This stuff is over, all over, all over. So we have here the kingdom of Judah, and that was in an area that we call Negroland. As you can see, here's another map. All right. As you can see, now let me widen this out. So as you can see, this is a map of Africa. This is an ancient map. I think it's 1747 or something like that. 1747. And as you can see, you have this area, that area they call Ethiopia, European. So they inhabit country is wholly unknown to the Europeans. Ethiopia, this country is wholly unknown to the Europeans. So they didn't know anything about that. Um, you have Abyssinia right here. You have Nubia here. And over here, you have Guinea, which is that area we just looked at. And right here, you have the Slave Coast, which is that Guinea, the area called, not Guinea, I'm sorry, where Judah, the kingdom of Judah was. And if you can, let's see, it's not going to, all right, there we go. So I just made it a little bit bigger. As you can see, once again, as you can see on this map, it says Ouida as well. Ouida, and we saw that it said Ouida, Fida, Judah. So as you can see, still the slave coast, which is that area Benin, then Togo, then Ghana over here, Gulf Coast. I mean, excuse me, Gold Coast. And then up here, you have what is called Negroland. Negroland. And we talked previously how this area was called Negroland because that was where the Negroes were. That was where, better yet, the Jews were, who would end up being called Negroes. They were called Negroes. Now, let's look at what Wikipedia has to say about this area called Negroland. What does Wikipedia have to say? Negroland, Negrita, or Negritia. And we talked before about how that area you'll see on maps, it'll be called Negroland or Negritia or Negrita. It says is an archaic term in European mapping referring to Europeans' descriptions of West Africa as an area populated with Negroes. This area comprised at least the western part of the region called Sudan, not to be confused with the modern country. The term is probably a direct translation of the Arabic term Bilad as Sudan, meaning land of the blacks. Now, if you look up Bilad al Sudan, oh, no, that's not what we want. It will show you that it was also called the land of the blacks, corresponding to about the same area. There were various kinds of people in the area. The Persians called these areas Zangistan, meaning land of the blacks. And the name Zang for black still remains the name of Zanzibar. Negroland represented the area between the region of Guinea and Sahara or the Sahara Desert. And so, jump down here, it says Guinea, not to be confused with a modern country, then referred to the south facing coast of West Africa and the land stretching upriver from there. Herman Moe's 1727 map labels these Grain Coast, Slave Coast, and Gold Coast. Negroland was a territory to the north of this, along the east-west axis of the Niger River and the west-facing coast. So that area, once again, was called Negroland. So all of this stuff, it's not as if this information is hidden. You can just go online and you can find this stuff. You can go online and find this stuff. Now, of course, you got to know what you are looking for, but this information is everywhere. This information is everywhere. So then, once again, that area we talked about in another video about how that particular area uh, was called Negroland because it was populated by Jews. We looked at a map by in uh, a Muslim cartographer, a Muslim map maker called by the name of Muhammad al Idrisi, and he talked about how in this area it was on the particular map. It mentions that it said, according to El Adrisi, this area hereabout was populated by Jews. Populated by Jews. And the reason why they called these particular Jews, why they call them Negroes, um, is because they were different from everybody else. They were different from the other Africans there. And so that's our Black History Nugget for this day, for this video. And I hope that you've been getting some information as we have been, unpacking over these last 2+ weeks. And I hope it's enlightened you, giving you more understanding of who we are, where we came from, and also the information that has been hidden from us about who we are. If you have not done so, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe. Reclaiming My Identity is the channel. Like, subscribe, comment.